Hi everyone, it's Edo from Framer and this is Components in CMS Rich Text. Formatted content often needs more than plain copy, images and tables. Sometimes you need more flexibility like animated galleries, newsletter signups or even more interactivity within your text. We believe the best way to unlock this freedom is to let you and other editors drop any component that was created in the canvas. Let me show how simple and flexible this is in practice. I'm going in the CMS and opening the first item. You'll notice that the formatted text toolbar now includes an insert button. I place my cursor just below the first paragraph and then click it. You see that the familiar default blocks are still at the top, like image, YouTube, code block, and table. And just below that, there is a new section with all the components that were created in my project. They're displayed using the same structure as the assets panel, so it's all familiar and you can browse your folders and pick the component you want, like this one. Once added, I can adjust its properties right from this popover. The width is set to fill by default, but I can switch to fit, which reveals the alignment controls just below. So I can center it, align it to the right, or keep it on the left. Very flexible. I'll switch back to fill, and you'll see that there are extra properties as well. This component, in fact, includes variants, like an ultra wide one, and I also expose the radius as an editable property, so I can easily tweak it within Rich Text. If I preview the page, you can see the interactive ticker component is sitting right inside the text, and this instantly gives the page a much more modern and dynamic look. I can also add components while editing content inline on the canvas. Let me show you. If I place my cursor here and type /, I get a menu that now includes a components section. I can move through it with my arrow keys, and it shows the same folder structure as we've seen before. I pick a small site embed component I prepared earlier, and its properties are editable right here on the canvas, so let me update the site URL and adjust the zoom a little bit. When I preview the page again, I can fully interact with the embedded site, which makes the content feel much more engaging. Now, I want to add one last component, something people often drop between paragraphs, and I want to do it even faster than before. So since I know its name, I can just type / and then the letters N and E to filter it out. When I hit enter, my component is added and it's my newsletter sign up. Now let me check how this component is behaving in other breakpoints. And you can see this one, the mobile one, is not responsive yet. If I click on it, a pop-out explains how responsive components work, and I'm going to show you right away. So I click Edit Component, I select the default variant, and I add a new one that is very important. I name after the breakpoint I want to show it in this case, phone. I'm then heading to the stacks property to make my content mobile ready, tweaking the alignment and the order of items, and also resizing a bit the width. Nice. Now, if I head back to the canvas, you'll notice that in the mobile breakpoint, the correct variant is picked automatically, and that's because its name is matching the breakpoint name. And as long as you observe this naming in your components, the correct variant will be automatically picked for any new component you add. Now let me preview my page, and there it is. I now have a modern and dynamic detail page where I can interact with a ticker, play with a site embed, and even subscribe to a newsletter, all right within my CMS content. We know this is a feature many of you have been waiting for, and we are very excited to see you using it to take your content to the next level. Thank you so much for watching and happy building!